we weren't being cooperative. Our brother, unfortunately, gave him the use of the musalla and let this mubtadi' talk on the mic. What more do you want? Are we supposed to make sajda to you? What do you want, Your Honor, Your Highness? What do you want? Naeem Abdullah Hakim, Naeem and Abdul Hakim, I guess he means Hakim Abdullah, whatever, went into office and they had me wait outside for about 10 or 15 minutes. When they told me to come in, I was surprised to find they didn't have an answer as to how to proceed. Surprised at the brothers. Brothers don't know how to take care of business. Naeem and Abdul Hakim Abdullah, I guess he's talking about. Or Abdul Hakim, whichever one he's referring to. So he goes on in front of me. Naeem called Abu Uwais and he left a message on his phone as Abu Uwais did not pick up. And then Naeem on his own accord told me, you can talk. Just allow us to record it. And put Naeem all on front. Put Naeem all on front now. You understand? Who asked you who it was that said you could talk? He said this in front of Abdullah Hakim Abdullah and brother Mujahid, who lived in Riyadh and he's now living in Newark. Mujahid was the person who showed me where the masjid was, as I never visited the masjid prior to that day. Jazakallah khair, Mujahid. He ain't talking about Abu Muraisa, I know. He's not talking about Abu Muraisa. Would have took him to a different place. Right there, right around the corner there. Just go up the steps. No. Subhanallah. I had enough sense to bring Mujahid into the office as I felt I needed a witness. He needed a witness. He didn't trust you brothers from the get-go, obviously. To witness to what went on, alhamdulillah, looking at what they are doing and saying. Gee, you hear this man? And you gonna let him do this again? This man saying he needed a witness to witness what they are saying. So he never trusted us. So what did he come over here for? We're not trustworthy. What you want? Leave us alone. We're not trustworthy. Or maybe you saw from us what you saw from Sheikh Rabi. You know. Now, there are doing. He's saying, I'm happy he was there, witness. He said, no, I'm happy he was there and witnessed everything. He witnessed everything that happened in the Musalla as well. If Naeem left a message with Abu Uwais and him telling me to record what I had to say, I went out and prepared to talk on the mic. I began by saying, then he goes on about what he said. Then Naeem's cell phone rang and he motioned me to stop. And my brother was recording the session to turn off the tape. This was done in front of all the people. So I stopped while he talked on the phone. Where it's supposed to be done at? He hung up the phone and told me to continue. I had enough sense to ask him, was that Abu Uwais? I had enough sense to ask him, was that Abu Uwais? He said yes. This took place in front of all those who were sitting. I don't recall how that could happen. This is qadr. This is qadr. I don't recall any contact except Naeem calling me. And unless something has changed with cell phones, someone has to call you for it to ring. So what he's saying here is that his phone rung and he had the session stopped. Yeah, Ajaba. You understand that one? Does that make any sense? I mean, I know what all the lies you heard earlier. Does that make any sense to you? This took place in front of all those sitting with the waiting to hear what I say. I don't know how someone can come now and say Abu Uwais didn't know about me wanting to address the people. Of course I didn't know he wanted to address the people. I can tell you very clearly that it was not known that you want to address the people to me. For if it was known, if that was something known, you would not have been allowed to. You would not have been allowed to. There would have been at least a heated argument about that matter. At least. I also heard that Abu Uwais had some strong things to say on Power Talk session that night as to how and why the people at Masjid Rahma would allow me to get the mic. And not knows best, according to Naeem, he spoke to Abu Uwais before I spoke, and he still motioned for me to continue. Also, I found it strange that Abu Uwais would call and not ask to speak to me as I was trying to contact him for a week. So something also I can maybe help him with the strangeness here. I don't want any contact with him. Maybe I can alleviate some of the strangeness here. And he could have been sitting with 100 people. Him being 101. And the phone could have went around to 100 people, and when they got to him, I would have hung up. When someone says they don't want to be bothered, how is it strange? Huh? That you bother them. How is it strange if they don't want to be bothered? How is it strange that they want to talk to you? Now, and since I was in front of the people, I just left it. Then I proceeded to tell brothers that Sheikh Rabi advised the brothers from this masjid to give followers of Abu Hassan al-Ma'rabi advice, and that is why I was there. Oh man, what you gonna do with this man? I thought he was here for October. No, he's not here for October. According to his own email here, he's not a follower of Abu Hassan al-Ma'rabi according to the oath that you heard him saying on the tape. Saying that may the curse of Allah be upon him and upon his children. Saying that may I die a Jew if I'm lying. Right? He's not a follower. But here he's saying, that since I was in front of the people, I just left it. Then I proceeded to tell brothers that Sheikh Rabi advised the brothers from this masjid in particular, Rahmah, to give the followers of Abu Hassan al-Ma'rabi advice, and that is why I was there. Does it make any sense to you? Maybe the next line will make sense. It's possible. Sometimes the bright stuff is around the corner. I told them I'm not a follower of Abu Hassan al-Ma'rabi, and I was willing and ready to receive any advice from anyone who thought I was a deviant, and how I was hoping someone would be able to show me their proofs. I told them I was trying to contact the leadership at that masjid for a week, and I was left with no other alternative other than to show up there the way I did, hoping someone else, anyone would be there from the leadership. When Abu Wais failed to show up for the salah, man, where you going with this, man? Where you going with this? خسران مني يعني. It's a fault. I'm failing. Maybe if he had his behind in the masjid he's supposed to be in, I wouldn't have to bother with him. I asked permission from two of the brothers who had keys to the office and who took responsibility for dealing with the situation. Now I'm hearing all of these things that are being said on their website. Suffice to say, whose website? I made myself visible in the city of East Orange in Newark, New Jersey. I prayed at Masjid Ashab al-Yamin, 4th Avenue a number of times, and at Abu Muslim's Masjid a number of times. And I also went out of my way to go to Masjid Rahmat. You didn't have to do that. Barakallah, you did not have to do that. Since you went to 4th Avenue, and since you went up there with those people of Dalala, Bid'ah, those who find fault with the ulama, you could have stayed there. You could have stayed there. You didn't have to make no great effort to come here. And we would have appreciated it, but it's something more relaxed for us, something of a more comforting time for us. For we had classes scheduled and things that we were trying to do, until you came in here with this tomfoolery and this ludicrous, absurd behavior. That was a manhaj lesson that we have to change. Just tonight was Aqidah lesson. But this is the last time we're going to spend on this fool, inshallah. Naam. So, and I prayed with them. I was like the blind man coming with sincerity for some advice about his deen.